Hey, good evening. Micro Map here. Haven't done a video in like 5 days or 6 days. Sorry about that, folks. I think my last video was on the 19th, which was 19th was on Thursday. Um, was busy Friday. Took off to the kiddos' soccer on drove up to Tampa on Saturday. She played Saturday and then played Sunday and drove back. So it was a long weekend. It's a 4.5 hour drive. She won. They tied Saturday, and Sunday they lost 3-1. She played okay. It's very competitive, and just been a little bit busy with work and trading. I've actually been trading a lot, and this week has gone good until this evening. A little down. I tried to pick a bottom here. I'm not too much down. I mean, I pretty much waited for the end of the day. So the markets are rolling over here. Um, so let's talk about the markets. Um, Congrats to Tejas, your Texas Rangers. I didn't know this, but the Rangers had never won a World Series. I didn't know that. Um, I was doing some research and have the Texas. Well, they didn't win. Teams that had never won a World Series, and there were six. So you have the Rangers, Padres, Brewers, Mariners, Rockies, and the Rays. And I didn't know that the Rangers were one strike away in 2010 and 2011 from winning a World Series. That's pretty crazy. But anyways, I'm rooting for you, Tejas. I'm rooting for the Rangers. We have the World Series on Friday, and that starts against the D-backs. So going for the Texas Rangers. We'll see. I've always been an American League guy. I like the American League um, with the Yankees there, even though I'm not a big Yankee fan. I mean, obviously everybody likes the Yankees, but my grandfather likes the Yankees. I actually grew up watching a lot of the Atlanta Braves because we used to watch because we had TBS and we didn't have a team. Obviously, I like the Marlins, and I didn't want to see if I have a lot of Philly friends from Philly, but it was hard for me to root for them because they're in the same division as the Marlins, so they're just big rivals. Um, but they didn't win, so you know. But I'm definitely going for the Rangers, and we'll see what happens. Hockey started, and I think we have NBA tonight. So I think I watched the Miami Heat NBA games today. Let's see here. Yeah, I don't know if the season starts today. I haven't been in tune because there's so much sports going on. But the Heat play, and so I'll probably watch the Heat after this video. We got the Pistons at home. Has the season started? So everybody has a zero here, and I guess the Nuggets and Suns played against the Lakers and Warriors. I guess that's when the season started. So we got NBA and we have NHL. NHL started, and I don't think the Panthers are doing too hot. Um, yeah, they're 3-3. Yeah. Bruins are undefeated. Rangers are 4-2. Avalanche undefeated. Stars undefeated. Golden Knights undefeated. Wow, Golden Knights won it last year against us. So the kid, she travels to. She got a Halloween party. Imagine teenagers. She got a Halloween party Friday, and she takes off Saturday on a round robin bus trip to play one game in Tampa. So maybe the wife wants to go watch a hockey game Saturday. Got the Panthers and Krakens. Maybe I'll go to that game. Who knows? Um, the markets. So, boy, oh boy, I did a video and it didn't have audio, so I had to do another video. So I said, let me sit at my desk and do a video instead of being lazy and holding the phone and do the phone. Let me use my computer, my desktop with my monitor. Um, so we have the dollar higher. So you got to watch the dollar. Let's go to the Thinkorswim platform here. Let's pull up here the Dixie. So we have the dollar here at 106.56. Yeah, strong. And we could look at the 5 day. Let's look at the 10 day. The 10 day chart here. One low was 105.36, and we're at 106.56. So the trend right now is higher interest rates, and you always want to be looking at this right here. This is the 10 year. And the 10 year right now, the high was 5, and then we got a big sell off down to 480, and now we're back to 495. The biggest markets in the world are the Forex market, the currency market. For you Forex traders, I'm not a Forex trader. I do have exposure to currencies. Us futures traders can trade them here via the sixes. You have the 6A, 6B, 6C, 6E, 6J, 6L, 6M, 6N, 6S, 6Z. Those are your currencies. The ones that are more active have micros. Those are the ones I like to sleep at night. So I'm a small trader. I uh I like to trade small and often, and I like to be able to go to sleep at night. I don't need a lot of money to live. I live a simple life, and I don't need a Rolex. I'm happy with my Hanes T-shirt and my sandals, and you name it. And remember, health is wealth. On the health front, the back is here and there. Wearing an SI joint belt, which is helping me. I'm just focusing on maybe lifting, doing some more weight, strength training, um, and hydrating. OJ, orange juice. I think orange juice is the one of the best performing futures, and I'm going all over the place, but that's fine. Those of you know me, no, I tend to do that. I like this little website for like future updates. It's pretty cool. Performance in year to date. OJ is up 127% on the futures for the year. I don't know the 1 year performance. This is the year, up 136%. So I'll be back. This container at BJ's, this container of OJ at BJ's, I think was $8 plus. That's sick. Sick. I know it has a lot of sugar, but it's got a lot of vitamin C and potassium. Cheers. I need to see how I can get more exposure to orange juice. It's a good future. I don't have ice futures. Ice futures lets you trade. Jeez, I keep opening that crap. Ice futures lets you trade. They call them the softs. I don't have that privilege. Maybe I should. I don't know if they have a lot of value. Futures. See the softs. And what's in the softs? Cotton, and they do have some volume. Cotton, coffee. I've never traded these. Coffee, sugar, cocoa, lumber, orange juice. 957 contracts on the January. Let's take a look. I'm curious. I want to see if they have a chart. Let's take a look at this one here. They do have a chart. Look at this chart. Wow. So orange juice went from 200 to 386. Look at that. I'm actually doing this research with you. I've never even looked up a future for orange juice. Look at that. Wow. So I guess it's good to become an orange juice farmer. That is crazy. That is crazy. Um, so the four going back, I went off on my tangent. I'm sorry, but we learned something together. So we have we have the forex markets, which we talked about, the dollar strong, and then we have the bond market. The bond market is what the government sells. Governments sell bonds to investors or to the public to fund their government, and we have so many deficits and debt that it's ridiculous. I mean, it's mind-boggling. But that was fine. We had interest rates at zero. I mean, we had interest rates at zero for how long? And now what's happening is the long end of the curve. And when you say curve is when they say yield curve and curve, it talks about all the government bonds. So the government bonds, and I'm going to go to CNBC to show you. This is the next biggest market in the world, is the bond market, and the futures give you exposure to all these um, markets. That's the beauty of futures, and it trades 23 hours a day, 6 days a week, closed Saturday. So the 1 month T-bill is paying 540, 2 month 545, 3 month 548, 4 month 551, 6 month 556, 1 year 545, 2 year 512, 3 year 497, 492, 498, 496, 529, 509. So the 10 years for the one that everybody looks at is 496. And the futures, do you have these products? They're very big. They move a lot. So you have ZB, which is the 30-year bond. ZN is the 10-year. ZF is the 5-year. And ZT is the 2-year. Those are your bond ETFs. You can go with this little one here. Now this one, so these are not the interest rates. They're just numbers. This one goes by interest rate right here. Man, the markets are not looking good. We're at 490, so I'm getting a little bit hammered on this. So I'm down. I have an average of 42.26 on these two uh, micro S&P contracts, and we're at 492. We haven't gotten a bounce. This is today. I mean, we were at 42.60. My average is 42.26. I'm down 343 on this position, but on the Nasdaq, I'm down almost a grand. Uh, my P&L right now open is 861. I'm down 483 on the day. My average is 14,572. So like up here, more or less. But you look at the 5 day, look at this. 15.1 to 14.3, almost 1,000 points. Now we have Amazon tomorrow, and I kind of like this open down because we might have to fill this gap and maybe get a reversal. I think we'll get. We'll look at some charts here, but we're a little bit oversold here. I think we'll see. And this is the trend. Remember, I'm a trader. The trend is lower. I'm looking for a bounce because we're oversold. But we can stay oversold longer. I mean, but I am a trader. That's what I do. But the trend is that it's ugly. It's very ugly out there. So the government sells these bonds. Ford and UAW negotiators reach labor deal pending union leadership approval. Well, that's good. These are the most active options. I can't live without the screen for my daily routine. So I told you about the bonds there. So what's happening is investors, they want interest rate for the money, especially long term. So they're dumping bonds. You don't want to see a chart of like the 30-year bond. So let's take a look at, and let's go out a longer time frame. Let's go out 10 years on the monthly. And let's take a look at the 30-year, which is ZB. Look at that. Look at that. Straight down. I mean, we can go longer time frame. Like, let's see, we can go max available. I mean, it was at 87 at one point. That was back in the, that was in 97. But I mean, interest rates got up to like 15% under Volcker, almost 20 at one point, I think. So, I mean, there's a lot of carnage here in this bond market. And it's funny, they say the bond market's safe, but bonds can be risky too. So bonds and stocks are going down. So where do you hide? And you don't want to be in dollars because inflation is going to eat your dollars. So people are going to hard assets and commodities. That's where I think eventually people will end up in. That's the way I'm positioning myself, or that's the trend I think you will see in the future. So enough of the bonds. Let's go through the futures. So I hope I kind of helped you with currencies and with bonds. And as interest rates rise soon, so the government sells these bonds, and the first line item is, let's say, Social Security, Medicare, then defense. Interest is an expense for governments or even your household if you have debt, or a company. Companies run their business with interest, and depending on interest rates, the higher the interest rate, the more they have to pay towards that, and they can't use it for other stuff. So it can get ugly. Um, Bitcoin is down 300. So Tejas had asked me to do a video on Bitcoin. I'll touch on Bitcoin here. I am not a believer in Bitcoin. I'm not. The simple reason that I'm not a believer in Bitcoin is because I like to invest in things that I can touch, like real estate, uh, which right now is untouchable. Uh, you know, metal, metal. I mean, silver, gold, stocks. But Bitcoin, I guess if you believe it's going to be a method of payment and transaction, um, sure. But tell that to the people that bought. Let's take a look at the regular Bitcoin BTC. Tell that to the people that bought at 70K. That is a store value. Now in the chart we are parking up here. This is this chart goes back to 2017. 2017. We had a low of 3120. Then we hit 60, 70,000 almost in 21. That was pretty much after the COVID stimulus. Well, let me see here. We started ramping up after the stimulus and COVID, and then 21, and then we sold off. And the reason that we're going up, to answer your question, the reason that we're going up is because of the ETF effect. Supposedly they're coming out with an ETF for Bitcoin, and they're waiting for SEC approval. I didn't see much news on that today. Uh, when it CoinGecko, see if there's any new news. So Bitcoin is the gold standard, and then you have Ethereum as like silver, and they've gone up a lot. I mean, I think the interest. Maybe I'm wrong. I just I prefer stuff that I know more about, and I don't know much about this. I mean, I think, you saw Sam the Man. He frauded a bunch of people. There's a lot of websites that you can't even sometimes get your money. So I'm very skeptical. I'm very doubtful of this asset class. If I do anything, I do it in the futures, which you could do it here with the smaller products for people that like to sleep at night is this one, which I'm short 10 contracts at 1692. It's at 1690. It's at 1790. So I'm basically down 100 points on my average, and I'm only down $98. So it's a small product. Now 10 contracts adds up on commission fees. So I'm looking for a big outlier move on this. Um, this is not the best product because of the commission. Now this one's a lot better. I'm into this one. I have 2 contracts, and I'm short at 33K. To answer your question on my thoughts on Bitcoin, I'm down 305. I'm up 60 right now on the day on this in total. And the markets keep selling off. We're not getting a bounce. It's ugly out there. Interest rates at 4.95 and S&P 4188, Nasdaq 14,340. There's been some damage done here on this Nasdaq. Let's pull up the regular Nasdaq. Look at that. Can we go down to 10K, 10.5? Wow. Let's pull up the 5-year chart instead. That's crazy. Look at this, 797 on the Nasdaq back in 2003. I mean, it was pretty sideways until now. We hit 16.7. Chime in. You guys think we'll ever see 16.7 again on the Nasdaq? 16.7 we hit on the Nasdaq. A lot of red candles there. I'm playing a bounce. Not looking good right now. We'll see. I've had a good week so far. I'm a trader. The trend is lower. The trend is obviously lower. But you gotta pick your battles here and pick some bounces. Here's a 5-day chart. We're at 15-1 to start the week, no? Well, not the week, but that's when we ended. We ended 10 Friday. Friday, yeah, 15-1 more or less. Yeah, almost down 1,000 points. That's nuts. All right, so I answer your question. Can you have some assets in Bitcoin? Sure, you can have 3 to 5% in cryptocurrencies. I think of your allocation of your investments. I think, and I think you want to be with Ether or Bitcoin, and you can either do it through MET or MBT on the futures. Now, if you want to go with the big dogs, you can go with BTC, which it costs you only $53,000 of buying power, or the other one, which costs you $36,000 of buying power. The ones I use cost the Ethereum contract $72 a contract, and Bitcoin's 1,000, much more manageable. Futures. Now, the nice thing about this is Tasty Trade. I have 2 accounts. The nice thing about Tasty, these are all my positions, by the way. I use these guys a lot for options. And then the TD for futures. I don't know why I am doing that, but that's what I do. I like to have 2 platforms. Actually, this platform was down today a little bit, for a little bit. They do have cryptos here you can buy. How can I? So they have these. They have they cut it down, but they have ADA, BCH, BTC, Dogecoin, DOT, Ether, Litecoin, Solana. So they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So you can buy the actual coins with Tasty, not on TD. TD does not offer that. Tasty does. You can buy these. And I know Robinhood does too, but I would die if I had to use Robinhood's platform. I would freaking die. I would die. Um, so that's my take on crypto as an asset. So we've talked about currencies. The dollar stronger. Now, mosquito, sorry. Now, the dollar, let's take a look at the dollar. I think the dollar, this is how many days? 5-day chart. Let's pull up 20-day. We're in the upper end of the range. I did throw back. I went from my 401k and I went in there and I moved everything back into. I'm sorry, Stella. Come here, girl. She got scared. She's so sensitive. My cattle dog. She's a cattle dog mix, whatever. She has heartworms. We got her injected today. So I transferred everything back into the FKIDX mutual fund through my 401k because it's down in the past 6 months, down 5%. So usually it goes down when the dollar rolls over. When the dollar goes up, it goes down. So I'm looking for the dollar to maybe roll over and then we get a little bump back up here. That's my thinking, and I can make a good return here entering the end of the year. So I'm in here for international exposure. So we covered that. We covered the bonds. We covered crypto. We covered crypto, bonds, and currencies. Oil. Oil today had a bullish, I think, report. I haven't read the report, but it did reverse, and I'm doing pretty good on oil. I'm up 44. I have an average of 85. I'm up 42, but I'm waiting for that. I'm waiting for that explosion to uh to 100. I mean, if this war kind of continues, which I think is going to be long, I think oil. We had a bullish report on oil. I didn't read any of the stuff, but I think there was a bullish report on oil. Crude rallies as Israel prepares for ground invasion of Gaza. So, nat gas prices settle higher on forecast for colder U.S. temperatures next week. I did spreads in UNG. So for energy, you can go with ETFs, XOP, XLE. I'm very bullish on this sector still. You can go long this contract, which is very manageable. It's $1,200 as opposed to the big one, which is 12,000. So size is important here. And for natural gas, you can go you can go NG, which I don't have a stomach for this product. You need 10,200, or you can go QG, which is 2,500. I did a UNG spread instead. UNG is an ETF, and I went 51 days out, and I got some leaps in here too. So that's energy. Uh, Really, the indexes are under pressure. We had Google today get destroyed uh, on earnings, and they basically lost what Starbucks is worth, which is like $90 billion. They're down. They're actually down more in after hour to 122. So that is a humongous move for a big stock. I mean, huge. I mean, Starbucks market cap is 107 billion. Google stock market cap 1.59 trillion. I don't know how many shares they have outstanding, but they lost more than $100 billion in market cap today, big time. So, and that's having an effect on the Nasdaq. Meta rolled over. They were higher and they rolled over. They did hit 315. They had good earnings and they rolled over, and now it's 289. Like I said, the trend is lower. I'm trying to play for a bounce. Um, I like this chart. You can see a little bit, and now I'm going into the indexes. And remember, this is the beauty about trading. When you go to futures, right? Let me see for future market overview. When you go to futures, you have here's what you're looking at. Futures market map. You have different asset classes, and that's the beauty of futures and investing. This is how you should invest. You have currencies, energies. We covered the currencies. We're covering the energies. We talked about the bonds, which are financials and interest rates. We haven't talked about grains. They open at 8. We're talking about indexes. I've always talked about the livestock. We talk about precious metals, and we talked about orange juice, the softs, which I don't trade. Maybe I should get an application for soft and look into those. I, I wouldn't mind it because it seemed to be doing well based on what we're looking here at the 1 year performance. Look at these. That's why commodities. That's why everything's so expensive. Sugar's up 75%. And I read that there was actually um, export bans on sugar. This was August 23rd, not too long ago. India set to ban sugar exports for the first time in 7 years. And guys, always, and I always tell my kid this, and Warren Buffett says it too. Warren Buffett spends like 8 hours a day reading and stuff. Like he reads I don't know how many hours a day. But educate yourself. Know these options and futures. It's the key. I know people say you can't time markets and this and that. I don't give a crap, man. I moved when I saw what will happen with interest rates. I moved all my money in my 401k and I said I'm happy with my return for this year, and I'll take a look at it another time. Um, and I think the dollar's kind of gone up here to a point that uh, it might roll over, and I think it will because of our debts and deficit. Um, so this is the chart on the dollar. Let's take a look at 100 day. This is a 180-day time frame. So we hit a low of 99, and we're getting, we're here almost at the top here. I think we'll see. Um, so the indexes. Let's take a look at this. I like this little chart here, and this is a little bit longer video because I haven't done a video in like 5 days, and I miss you guys. So I'm doing a longer video, and the heater gonna start soon, and I'm getting hungry. All right, so it's no, this ain't the website. Like I don't know. I always call these people. My browser opens up, and it's always I hate this Yahoo StockCharts.com. Here it is. So the SPY, we're talking about indexes here. Right here, cut through the 200-day, which is 420.39. So we cut through it on some heavy volume. Let's see if we can get back over it. Here we cut. So here we cut the 50-day pretty heavy, and then we came back, hit the resistance, then we came back a little bit, and then we went through it, and then we rolled over. And now we're hitting the next moving average, which is a 200-day, and we did cut through it. If you want longer time frame, here's longer time frame. We're approaching on the longer time frame chart the 50-day, which is 415. You're gonna hear a bunch of noise here. My wife and daughter got here, so now the commotion is gonna start with the dog. Here's the cues. On the long time frame, here's the weekly. It's pretty ugly. I mean, we can hypothetically maybe come all the way down here to 337. IWM is in a world of its own. I mean, it's just falling off a cliff. On the longer time frame, maybe a double bottom here. And on the Dow Jones, under the 50-day. And right now the futures are red. Yeah. So I'm doing a video. Alright, so my precious baby. So where are we at? So those are the indexes. Grains don't open to 8. I like the grains. I think corn, and I'm along the grains. I think corn and soybeans. I think corn can maybe. I'm in the smaller products, XK. I think corn can maybe try and hit 5 again, and soybeans maybe approach 13. Wheat has geopolitical risk, so I'm into that too. I haven't really messed with the other ones, the soybean oil or the meal or the hard wheat. I don't really mess with those because these have small products. These three are the ones that have smaller products. XK, XC, and XW. Only $417, $498, and 1,000 on the wheat. And they do move. And they do move, and you know they can bring decent little returns on small little trades. I'm up $13 on the soy. Wheat, I'm down 50, and corn, I'm down 82. Actually, in at 487. Um, Hogs, I did good in the hogs. These don't open. They're only open from 9:30 to 2:05. Just like the grains as well. I did good with the hogs today. I've only been messing with the hogs. I haven't really done anything with the feeders or the cattle. You guys know I love precious metals. Um, for you that want to play at precious metals, we don't have access to sauce. So I have to get ice privileges. Maybe I'll do that. Let's see here. Metals, you can buy. You can use this one here. MGC. It's a smaller contract. It's $1,000. The big one is 10,000. So, and then silver. Silver is a little bit too big for me. I'd rather do it with SLV ETF because the big contract's 9 and this one's 2 grand. The SLIL, but you can be down quick, big. So I'd rather stick with SLV ETF. Yeah. So those are the futures on the stock front. Just a lot of big losers out there today. Hi, Richard. Just across the board, everything was red. It was pretty ugly. I'll do another video on other stocks because this one's getting too long. It's already 38 minutes into the video. But yeah, it's pretty ugly out there. I still think I look at the narrative of higher interest rates. Watch the dollar, and you want to be in hard assets, and look for companies that aren't going to make it. There's some companies that aren't going to make it. Just look for those, and I might do a video on those as well. Anyways, like the channel. If you're a regular, please, that helps out the channel. If you first time on the video on the blog, subscribe, hit the notification button, and if you put a comment in there, I'll always answer it. Tejas Gold Rangers, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.